What is going on, guys? My name is Toadski and I'm back again to bring you guys yet another video, and today I'm bringing you a top 5 prediction regarding Mega Evolutions within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now, these Mega Evolutions that I'll be predicting, I'm not going to be talking about the starters or version exclusives such as Sapphire and Zangoose, so I'm not going to be talking about them at all, or the starters. This is basically just all of the other Pokemon within the Hoenn region that I believe should get a Mega Evolution, or deserve a Mega Evolution, rather. So, if you guys do not agree with my top 5, make sure to leave it in the comments below on what you think the top 5 Megas for you within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'm really interested to see what you guys put in the top 5 in the comments down below. I do read every single comment, so make sure to comment down below, and I'll make sure to check out your guys' top 5 predicted Mega Evolutions for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So other than that, guys, let's head straight into the top 5 countdown. In the number 5 position, I believe that Tropius should be getting a Mega Evolution within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Tropius is a very underrated Pokemon in my opinion, and you know, looking at its base stats, you can see why it is underrated. Only 99 being its highest base stat in the HP, and you know, it is kind of underrated considering that it does have a 4 times weakness to Ice, and not having much defense to back that up is not very good at all. However, it does get the hidden ability Harvest, which makes it kind of viable within competitive, meaning that it can harvest citrus berries and lum berries once they've already been eaten. At the end of a turn, it has a slight chance of, you know, harvesting a brand new berry. So I think that if this thing got a Mega Evolution, it should be the Tropius site that you find within the game, and it Mega Evolves into Mega Tropius. Now, with Mega Tropius, I do think that it should still maintain its Grass Flying type. I was really considering, you know, maybe giving it a Grass Dragon type. However, I think the Grass Flying is probably the best option for it. And then, if it does Mega Evolve, I do believe it should get Gale Wings. Now, if you don't know what Gale Wings is, it basically gives a priority to flying type moves. Now, in conjunction with Gale Wings and its base stat increases, I think that Mega Tropius will be very viable within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire's metagame, considering that, you know, Tropius itself, regular, is kind of shit. It is shit. It's got nothing good going for it other than the Harvest ability, and with the Mega Evolution, it will make Tropius benefit so much and so much more viable within competitive battling. So that's why I believe Tropius should be getting a Mega Evolution within Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So let's move straight on to number 4. In the number 4 position, I believe that Exploud should be getting a Mega Evolution within Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Exploud is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon, period. Exploud is just an amazing Pokemon, especially because it gets that move Boom Burst. 140 base power, 100 accuracy with no drawbacks is an amazing, amazing move, especially because it does get the scrappy hidden ability as well, meaning that it hits ghost types. I'm done. Exploud has to be getting a Mega Evolution. Look at its base stats. 91 special attack. That Boom Burst isn't going to be doing anything if you do not have a choice specs on the Exploud. So if it did Mega Evolve, I believe it should be the Exploudite, giving it the Mega Evolution into Mega Exploud. Now, Mega Exploud, I believe it should be just a normal type. You know, similar to the Exploud, keeping that normal type. And the ability is a new ability that I had made up called Base Drop, meaning that all sound moves do 50% more damage. So that means that Boom Burst base power is 140 plus half of that, which is 70, sorry. So you got to add 70 to 140, giving you 210 base power. Then you got to add Stab. It's going to make it Mega Exploud so good. It's just unbelievable. Mega Exploud will be so good if this is the right base stats that are on screen. So you can see here, I added 30 to its special attack, giving it 121 special attack, and I did lower the speed because I believe that if Mega Exploud Mega Evolved, if just regular Exploud Mega Evolved, I believe that it should get a lot bigger, meaning that it's going to be a lot slower. So that is why I've added these base stats as I have. So this is reasons why I believe that that Exploud should get a Mega Evolution, because Exploud is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon, and it's kind of like it's not really popular, you know, it's kind of just, you know, left behind. No one really talks about it too much, but Exploud, believe me, Exploud, if it does get a Mega Evolution, will be absolutely insane. This has to happen. This has to happen. So, anyways, let's move on to number 3 in the countdown. Heading into the number 3 slot, I have Sableye. Sableye is one of those Pokemon that you just either love it or you really hate it, and in my personal opinion, I freaking love Sableye. Sableye is just an amazing Pokemon. You know, getting that Prankster is amazing. Priority Will-O-Wisp, priority Recover, priority, just about everything is priority. You know, it's absolutely amazing. Sableye is nothing to sleep on. Sableye is just an amazing Pokemon in general, and a lot of people have been suggesting that they want an actual evolution, which isn't really possible within the new games. However, a Mega Evolution is definitely viable, and it's something that I would really like to see within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So if this thing did Mega Evolve, it would have to be using the Sablite, and a lot of people would say Sableye-ite, but nah, I think the Sablite is a better word for it. And if it did Mega Evolve, this is what it should look like, similar to this. All the designs will be linked in the description because, you know, I didn't make them. All the links will be in the description if you guys wanted to actually be linked to the artists who made them. So, the base stats on this Mega Sableye, I've made it more of a bulky set on this Sableye. I don't think that Sableye should be buffed in its attacking stats because I don't think Sableye is much of an attacker in the first place. I mean, 75 base attack, it could potentially get a huge boost in physical attack, which is definitely a viable choice that I think that Game Freak might make if they do provide a Mega Sableye to us in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. But in my personal opinion, I think that Mega Sableye should be a lot more bulkier in the defenses and the HP. So I've added 40 into the HP, 25 to defense, and special defense is boosted by 35. And this is what I think Mega Sableye should look like within Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So let's head over to the number 2 spot on the top 5 countdown. So heading to the second last position of this top 5, in the second spot, we have Altaria. Now, Altaria is a really great Pokemon in general. Look at its defenses. It's pretty decent. You know, it's got 90 physical defense and 105 special defense. It's pretty decent, not even going to lie. Dragon Flying type, a really good typing. However, you are weak to Ice again, similar to Tropius. It does have the ability Natural Cure and Cloud 9. So Cloud 9 is actually a really good ability, and it was a really good ability in Generation 5, considering weather and all of that. However, in Generation 6, it hasn't been too much of a problem with weather, so Cloud9 hasn't been used as often. But anyways, Altaria is a really great Pokemon, as I said. Altaria, I think, should get a Mega Evolution. It's kind of swept to the side, similar to the other Pokemon that I have stated already in this top 5. You know, it's kind of swept to the side, and a lot of people don't really talk about it. They don't use it competitively, so I believe that a Mega Evolution would solve its problem, and a lot more people would use it if they actually implemented the exact same kind of like ideas I had for Mega Altaria into Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, then a lot more people would use Altaria. So if it did Mega Evolve, it would be the Altarite. Altaria-ite sounds a little bit weird, so I put Altarite. And if it did Mega Evolve, it would be a Dragon Fairy type. Who does not want a Dragon Fairy type in the game? Dragon Fairy would be such a great freaking typing. It does not have a Dragon weakness. How good is that? A Dragon Pokemon that doesn't have a Dragon weakness. Absolutely amazing. And the ability is Pixelate, which boosts normal type moves by 30% and changes them into a Fairy type. Now, also, something that a lot of people don't know is that Altaria actually learns Moonblast through level up in Pokemon X and Y. That kind of hints towards the fact that maybe they are going to get a Mega Evolution that's a Fairy type within, you know, the new games coming up. I really hope that they do improve it. And the base stats that I did for Mega Altaria is that I did boost its physical defense just a tad, and I also boosted its special attack, because I think that if it did Mega Evolve, it would need to have that Fairy Stab move in Moonblast, so, you know, it does need a special attack boost as well. I wanted the speed of this Mega Altaria to be increased. I think that Mega Altaria should be fast as hell, and as well as giving it some extra bulk into its HP, as you can see on screen. So that is the number 2 spot. Now let's head into the number 1 spot on this countdown. Here we are at the number 1